Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Red Men TV. I'm Steve Horse. Time for your latest Liverpool news update here on this Friday afternoon. As I hope you're all well. Thanks very much for joining us today. Going to be speaking about two transfer links to centre defenders. That's coming up later on in the show. We're also going to have a little chat about the fixture list. The Christmas/January fixtures have been announced. Liverpool have had 7, I think it is, games moved around December and January for TV coverage and all that kind of stuff. We're going to touch upon that as well. So yeah, in fact, you know what? Let's just do that straight away. Let's get cracking. So yeah, Liverpool have had 7 of their Premier League fixtures in December and January rescheduled. Now, first of all, Oppo preview time. Sorry, I said Oppo preview there. I meant early kickoff. I don't know why I was thinking to make sure that I'm doing later on. We've got the early kickoff, another one. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. I'll zoom in on that. Actually, it looks a bit, there you go, make it easier to read for everybody. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, now an early kickoff on Saturday, December 9th. So yeah, there we go. Another early kickoff for the Reds to enjoy away at Palace. What's interesting / annoying about that is that the game above, Sheffield United versus Liverpool, was meant to be on the Tuesday. Now that's been moved to the Wednesday. So the Sheffield United game has been moved later, and the Palace game is moved earlier. So therefore, like, the gap in between going to Sheffield United away on the Wednesday for the evening kickoff, Liverpool will return home on the Thursday, probably have to train Friday again, and then back early kickoff in London on the Saturday. So it's a really, really, really quick turnaround. And yes, as I'm seeing in the comments here, we were another 12:30, says Liverpool, eyes emoji, and James Stevens says the same thing, yeah. More 12:30 kickoffs, indeed, more 12:30 kickoffs. Added to that, unsurprising, these next couple, I suppose, Liverpool v Man United is now Sunday at 4:30. That was pretty obvious again. It was always going to be the Sunday because there's a Europa League game against Union a few days earlier. So that was always going to happen. It's Liverpool v Man United. It was always going to be Sky's Super Sunday. The Arsenal game that was originally scheduled just before Christmas has now a 5:30 kickoff live again on Sky Sports. So December 23rd, Liverpool against Arsenal. It'll be a big game just before Christmas on the Saturday evening / afternoon again on Sky. Liverpool's Boxing Day trip to Burnley is now going to be a 5:30 kickoff live on Amazon Prime. So yeah, the Boxing Day fixtures, Liverpool still get a game on Boxing Day. It's just now 5:30 on the TV. New Year's Day against Newcastle at home is now 8 p.m. kickoff, so everyone can enjoy New Year's Eve and then they can get themselves to the ground on New Year's Day. I don't think it's great actually for Newcastle fans. I think it's poor. 8 p.m. on a bank holiday. Like, I'm not sure what the travel arrangements are going to be like on New Year, so I think that's poor. I think there's been a lot of fixture moving around actually by the Premier League and the TV companies over Christmas that kind of show that they're the games that, like, if the Wolves versus Chelsea game on Christmas Eve is another example of fans getting fleeced, really. Newcastle fans on New Year's Day for an 8 p.m. kickoff. Obviously, public transport is going to be a nightmare there. It's another example, isn't it? And then later down, Bournemouth versus Liverpool is now 4:30 on a Sunday, which means those who are making the long trip down to Bournemouth for the second time after the League Cup tie maybe get a little bit more time in it. But yeah, it's that's happening too. Steve Ryder with his comments here. It says it's because of all these TV providers only want the best, and they all know Liverpool are the most watch, and that's why they want us. But at some point, it has to be fair, and this isn't. Yeah, listen, the early kickoff thing against Palace, TNT Sports just keep picking Liverpool because Liverpool get them the most views and most people watching it. I completely understand it. I don't think they should have moved the game on the Wednesday. Could have not stayed where it was. The turnaround between Sheffield United and Palace away is very, very, very close. Liverpool are going to have to do a lot of rotation around that. There's squad management issues around December. Jurgen's going to have to do something. What it does mean, last night's results in the Europa League, obviously that win, combined with what happened elsewhere, if Liverpool can win and to lose and hope that Lask can get something out of Union at home, which is certainly possible. They played a very close game yesterday. Obviously, Union won very, very late into stoppage time. Liverpool could effectively make 2 of the Europa League games in this period dead rubbers. Like, not only could they be qualified, but they could also be through. So yeah, that could be a big help in this. It's worth mentioning that as well. It could be brilliant. But yeah, listen, Liverpool are going to be on TV a lot. Of course they are, they always are, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't feel like Those early kickoffs are great. James says, don't City have the most fans? Their marketing department is brilliant. They get such high sponsorship. So yeah, I'm guessing they have got amazing full fans as well. But we'll have to find out how that one pans out later on. But yeah, another early kickoff. Again, Palace, just days after Liverpool have played away at Sheffield United. It's not great. They're two potential banana skin games. Two atmospheres that'll be hostile for Liverpool to go in. They'll have to do really, really well to get the points in them. And like I say, the home games against Man United and Arsenal back-to-back within a week or so is going to be really exciting. I don't mind footy on Boxing Day. I'm used to footy on Boxing Day. Burnley, again, might not be an easy game, but it's not. The travel isn't too far. I feel sorry for the Newcastle fans on that Monday, on that New Year's Day, if I'm honest. Let's have a little look. John says we play Fulham on the Sunday before Sheffield United, so it couldn't be the Tuesday. And that is the thing, of course, you're right. The Europa League fixtures have had an impact on it. You are right to say that. That's what kind of my point, though. The Sheffield game moving forward, you would think, therefore, they wouldn't have put Liverpool on the early kick-off. But like I say, John, they don't give a toss, do they? But yeah, especially back-to-back away games. I understand, like, 2 days off before games is fine. You can do that. You're going to have to learn to do with that. But to be away evening kick-off and then away early on the Saturday, it doesn't seem right to me. But them's the breaks. That's what Liverpool are going to have to deal with. Let's move on then. Got a couple of transfer stories I want to talk about. Let me just bring the first one up. It is about Goncalo Inacio and Liverpool reportedly, according to reports in Germany, I don't know where they've got it from, are the first favourites are the favourites for the players signing this summer. So yeah, it says, from this via Goal, who have translated the report in Germany, a new partner for Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool are favourites to sign 49 rated Goncalo Inacio from Sporting CP. Liverpool are the favourites to sign the 49 million euros rated defender. Goes on to say, the Portuguese defender grabbed attention of clubs in the summer, and last year Liverpool made an inquiry about him in the summer as they are in the process of identifying long-term replacements for the ageing Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk. Man United were keen to get him but had to give up as Harry Maguire didn't leave their club. Sport Bild say Man United have now pulled out of the competition, which leaves Liverpool as the favourites in the race. Jurgen Klopp is a huge admirer of Inacio and he's believed to be a preferred choice to shore up his defence. He's left-footed and remains composed with the ball, and therefore can be a successor to Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool recently dispatched scouts to observe Inacio's performance while he was playing for Portugal against Bosnia alongside Ruben Diaz. However, it was an uneventful game for Inacio as basically Portugal battered Bosnia in that one. But yeah, let's have a little. Banzino says, if we sign Inacio and Andre, the rebuild is basically complete, maybe barring a right back. Yeah, listen, I think I'm right in saying that the squad makeup at the moment means if Liverpool did sign Andre in January, they couldn't then sign another player. The squad would be too full unless someone left. But if Joel Matip's going to leave in the summer, then this could be one that Liverpool look to get tied up early doors. Liverpool did inquire about him. I do wonder, what the plans are going forward. Would Liverpool be comfortable with Van Dijk, Gomez, Canate, Inacio, and then obviously you've got Jarell Quansah as a young player as well? That seems like a pretty strong five, depending on which order you want to put them in. But yeah, and UK said, didn't he sign a new contract? He did sign a new contract, but of course, listen, it's not that hard to get players out of Portugal. They will move and they will be sold. You might have to pay a bit for them, and it might, again, depends on, we don't know if there's release clauses and stuff like that, but with all due respect to Sporting, they're a club who have shown they will sell players. Porto do the same, Benfica. They will get really good fees for them, but they are that's their model. They sign players young, they bring players through and then they sell them on for profit, often to England, Germany, Spain. So it does feel like one that potentially could happen. I was looking at his stats earlier. Obviously, he plays centre-back. I'll bring these up in a second. His current season stats over in Portugal. A nice JD advert for you there. I have that one. He's played 12 games already so far this season. Again, all at centre-back, of course, just the 4 yellow cards. He's played in Europe as well, obviously. He's played all 3 90-minute games for Sporting in the Europa League, and like I say, he's played all these league games as well. He's an ever-present in the 11. He's obviously capped by Portugal as well. He's played 134 games for Sporting now, and when you think about it, at his age, that's quite a lot. Liverpool tend to want players, I remember Neil Jones telling me Liverpool look at like the 75 to 100 games ranges. They really know what a player is. He's played 134 times for Sport and 11 goals and 8 assists. The goals and assists are nice, but that's not the be-all and end-all. But at his age, in his early 20s, he's very experienced. I can see why he's on the original list of Liverpool targets, and we'll see how that one pans out. David says, would you extend Matip's contract, though? He's been very good this year. And if Liverpool can go and sign a 22-year-old Dave, who I think who could be better than Matip, then I'd be fine to let Matip. I agree, Matip's been really good. It depends what they see as the future. If it's going to be Konate and Van Dijk for the next few years, which we think it will be, and then they go and they've got Gomez, Quansah and Inacio behind them, that could be fine. Matip, you'll be losing a bit of experience there, but the balance feels right. They've got the club captain. I know Joe Gomez is young, but he's vastly experienced now, and he's coming to an age where he should be stepping up to more of a senior role in the team, hopefully. There's still questions to be answered on that. And then you've got 3 real hot, young, promising defenders almost shooting out for that final third position. Obviously, Konate is the clubhouse leader there, but you bring Inacio in, you see what Jarell Quansah becomes. I'd be fine with those as a 5. So we'll see where he's at down the line. But for me, yeah, I wouldn't. Right now, I'd be fine with him extending if we're not going to sign anybody. But if we are going to sign somebody, then I would be okay for it. And yeah, if Liverpool go and get Goncalo Inacio, then I would be pretty fine with us having that. The other story, interestingly enough, and I do wonder if this maybe hints at Liverpool being definitely in the transfer market for a centre-back. Now, this one comes as part of another piece, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to bring it up in a second again. This comes from the Standard, the absolutely excellent... wait there 1 second while I bring all these up. Here we go, yeah. Nazar Kinsella, I'm trying to get rid of all the adverts on the Standard website. He says, the Eagles are also opening talks to keep their captain Mark Gahey, who is attracting interest from Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United and Liverpool. I mean, don't even know what this has. What's that advert there, Joe, on the right? And look at that. Look at her. Oh, she's doing it. Oh, she's an half right to stock. I mean, fair play to her. I got distracted by that. Anyway, yeah. Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United and Liverpool are all interested in Mark Gahey. This comes as a story in the Standard about Eze being linked with a new contract amid rumours Man City on him. But yeah, Palace are very much aware that Liverpool are after some of their players. Now, the interesting thing with Mark Gahey, of course, I don't know what the cost. He's obviously a little bit old. The cost is different, perhaps, than the Inacio one. But the English, I think we are having to have a little look at the homegrown stuff again. And bear in mind, he's only a year older. He's 23. Of course, Inacio's 22. He is English, of course. We know that he's played for the England national team before. Liverpool still have to have a little think, have half an eye perhaps on the homegrown quota thing. They lost a lot of English players in the summer. And then there's a couple more down the line who potentially, Keith Kelleher counts as homegrown. Maybe he might be allowed to go. There might be more going on. So I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool went, if someone they sign this summer is homegrown, if that is Mark Gahey. Again, young defender makes sense. I don't know what the fee would be, capped by his country. All the top teams are seemingly sniffing around him. Again, I've got a feeling. I was asked earlier about Matip. I know there's been talk about Matip and his contract. I think if you ask Liverpool deep down, as much as they love Joel Matip, from a pure squad building point of view, I think letting Matip leave and bringing in a younger defender and a young English defender, provided he's good enough, it helps with a few different things. It helps with the balance of the side, the average age of the side, and of course the homegrown quota. So we'll see how that all pans out. But I like Mark Gahey. I think he's a really good player. And I could see that one again. It looks like there's a lot of teams sniffing around them, so we'd have to see on the fee. But I can see a point where Liverpool go and do that because it is something to look after. I love Joe Matip. Again, I think he's been absolutely brilliant last season. Vase of Flowers says, I think this should be Matip's final season, methinks. And listen, Matip on the pitch has shown he's deserving of being a high-level footballer. If he gets another move, he should go somewhere and play a lot. But he's stayed fit for the most part so far, but we've had injury issues with Joel Matip in the past. Could you spend his wage on a younger player? Listen, you're going to get no fee for him. There's going to be a financial outlay. So I guess a little bit of this depends on, well, what's the transfer budget and what does Jurgen really want? I feel like he's happy with his midfield. I think he might want a DM. I think Andre could be that DM, for example. I think he's for the I think he's fine with his attacking options. We'll see how that lands, obviously, with the Mo Salah situation. But I think if you said to Jurgen, you budget this summer, what you want to spend it on, if he could keep his front five rather, and his midfield options very similar, I think if you offer Jurgen a DM and a centre back and maybe a full back, Liverpool could, therefore you could let Joel Matip leave and spread the budget across those three players. Maybe a goalkeeper if Keith Kelleher leaves, then I could see it happening. So I'm with you. I like Matip. I think he's been really good. But yeah, it's I like Matip, but for me, as long as the replacement's a good enough replacement, and they spend decent money, then I'd be fine to let him go. I think Goncalo Inacio, and I also think Mark Gahey are good players. They're good young players, and it's obviously a step up to Liverpool, and they might not be as good as Matip straight away, but I do think they're both good players, both internationals, both of an age. So potentially, yeah, I wouldn't be too adverse to that. Dom Lee says Klopp might keep him as a coach. Keep him around, yeah. Matip's good. He'll want to play. I think that's part of the reason he's the contract things. He knows he's like a backup option at the moment. He's third choice, and it could be fourth choice further down the line. So maybe that. But I'll be honest. I like Mark Gahey. I like Mark Gahey a lot. I think he's a really promising player for Palace. I've seen a lot of him. I think he's very cool and calm. I think he fits the mould of what Liverpool might be looking for. I think Jurgen would like to have him in the team if he can get him. He's of a height where he's 6 foot, over 6 foot. He's tall enough. He's good. He's good on the ball. I think he could be a decent signing for the Reds if they went and got it done. But yeah, whether that happens, I'm not quite sure. Let's have a little look. This issue isn't homegrown, it's the fact that we're at the limit for non-homegrown. Signing a homegrown player will avoid the issue with the number of non-homegrown players. That's kind of what I was trying to get at, Barry, is that if you sign a homegrown player, you can free up your other place. Liverpool are pretty much at the brink of their non-homegrown players now. So if they went and brought, say, an Inacio in, that tips them over. Again, the Matip thing helps it. So if you get an English player, a homegrown player who's good enough, then it frees up your options elsewhere to go and sign foreign players in other roles. But hey, we'll find out how that one goes. Going back to the kickoffs, it's a good point. The nurturing coach says, I don't understand why the Man City game got moved from 5:30 to 12:30 because of fan trouble, but Liverpool v Arsenal can be trusted madness and manipulation. Now, it was the Manchester police who I think put that in place, so maybe it's them. Maybe they don't trust Scousers going to Manchester. There's been a few incidents between Liverpool and City off the field in the past, so maybe it's that. But yeah, it's the kick-off things are a joke, aren't they? They're not great. It isn't ideal, and you're right. It's just another example where Liverpool kind of got done over, and they've been done over again. But that's what it is. Right then, guys, going to start wrapping up there. So thank you very much for joining us for this new show. Let me know if you're not watching this live in the comment section your thoughts on Goncalo Inacio and Mark Gahey. If you could choose one or the other, who would you like the Reds to go for this summer? Or indeed, just keep your Matip and let things go as they are. Do let me know that in the comment section. Like the video. Keep an eye out on all of our other amazing content right away. Over on redmenplus.com, we've got tons. The final words there and loads more as we head towards the weekend game against Forest. Go and sign up now. And as one of our news viewers here on Redmen YouTube channel, if you go to redmenplus.com, sign up as a monthly captain, use the promo code NEWS, NEWS, you'll get 50% off your first 2 months. So if you want to go and check it out and get more amazing Liverpool content in your eyes and in your ears, then go and check that out. But yeah, we'll be back with more content. There's a match preview show for the Forest game coming up later, and that'll be me again. Get more me in your lives. What more could you want? See you so soon.
Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcast, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on redmenplus.com today.